You made what a day you made for us.
Yeah, it was a great day. Also today we had better weather than last day, so yeah, it was amazing to race there. A lot of crowd. Also in the 5K up to Frognerseteren, it was amazing to race there. And yeah, here in the stadium area, the skating track was also really a lot of people. So I got a lot of help to them and good skis, and yeah, I felt that I was in great shape also. So yeah, it was really good to race.
Went everything as you had planned?
Yeah, I tried to save power in the classic part for sure, but yeah, it was on the second round, Daniel Rickardsson was increasing the speed, and I knew that it's gonna be a tough classic part, and also on the last round, Tobias Angerer and yeah, Martin in the start was pushing hard, so it was a tough classic part, but yeah, the two first rounds on the skating part when Alex Harvey attacked, yeah, I had a really good feeling, and I just tried to save power because I knew that always in the championships the last two rounds, and especially the last round, will be really hard.
What kind of tactic have you Norwegians made?
Yeah, no, we tried to be offensive, and I saw on the classic part Martin was offensive, and yeah, when we changed to skating skis, Sjur Røthe was almost in the lead there on the first round, and Tord was pushing also out on the last round. So yeah, we had an offensive team, and also Tord helped me to capture the gap up to Harvey there, and from then and in it was just to stay in the front.
Gjerdalens, when he went in front in the skating, it reminded us something about the 50K in Leverage.
Oh, in Leverage he was more braking, but this time he was attacking, so it's two different things. But yeah, he helped me today. He went on the outside, and I heard when he had an attack, I heard the crowd, and that gives you power. Yeah, the last round was pretty tough because people attacked all the way, and yeah, you just tried to stay in front there, and the last kilometer was really hard.
Or can you have this mass of self-confidence?
No, but yeah, I have gone through this race in my head now for 1 year. I have thought about it so much, and this scenario today have been in my head many times. So I have been in the situation in training many times. So yeah, I knew that in this track you have to stay in front, and the attack was also planned as in my head.
And this distance was the main goal for you?
Yeah, I think maybe my biggest chance to get an individual goal there in Oslo. So that is also maybe my biggest dream, as I can, and also the biggest accomplishment I can do as a skier in Norway. So it feels good to get an individual gold medal.
Can we have a replay for the 2 last minutes in the race? What minds went through your brain and pictures?
Yeah, first with the Capella, Giorgio De Santa attacked, and I was number 3, and I was second in the last uphill, the last long uphill up behind the Gratisøren, and yeah, I saw that Willik Schalling looked strong, and I know that he is tough to beat in a sprint like this when everyone is tired. And Dario was on my left side, and then there was something in my head was saying that this time I'm gonna take him. So yeah, you're pretty. You don't want to know what I'm saying to myself in my head. That's.
Is it a devil?
It's not so kind words. I try to punish myself here because I know. Yeah, the last thing I thought there in the last uphill was this is maybe my only chance to get an individual goal. So I try to give it all.
All right, we open for questions. Please raise your hand high, and then wait for the microphone.
So, as you say, that you think you prefer to become a world champion on Holmenkollen than to become an Olympic champion in Western Mountains?
Yeah, I was for sure. It's difficult to compare the 50K gold in Vancouver with the 30K. I think it's almost even because also for me, winning the 50K in Vancouver was pretty surprising after a little bad start. So yeah, the feelings was maybe even better when I crossed the line in Vancouver, because it had been a bad, not a bad, but not the best start for the championship. So, but today I had a good feeling. I have had a good start with the championships, and yeah, but it's, you have to say, the pressure is a little bit bigger also from the crowd, the people, and in my head, because I even more wanted the goal today than last year.
Let's speculate a little. Let's say this was an interval start competition. Would you be sitting over there right now?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, one more. The one thing you lack in your career is a big victory in interval start, like Olympic gold or World Championship gold medal. How would you rate a victory like that?
Now, for me, the biggest goal this year was to win the 50K and the 30K. So for me, the biggest chance was maybe today, and I also think I can win the 50K, and for sure I also hope to win gold on an individual distance one time in my career.
What were you thinking when Alex Harvey was making his attack, and sort of how did you know to sit in versus when you need to be, did you think that maybe you would have to do some of the chasing, or were you confident you would come back?
Yeah, I was ready to do my work on the last round, if the gap was too high, but we saw there on the last part of the third round that the Russians were strong, and I also tried to be longer in front of the field, and I saw that also Harvey was a little bit more tired than the two first rounds, so then I knew that it's going to be tough for him, because it's difficult to stay in his spot when it's a big group behind, because there's always someone who are good and wants saving power for that round.
Peter, how big is your mental advantage before a finish?
I don't think my competitors like that I'm in front of the group on the last round, especially when I'm smiling and try to say to them that I'm feeling okay. So yeah, I like that position, and it's also hard for me, but yeah, I wanted to sprint today when the field was a little tired, and that was the situation today because it was so tough the last round. So yeah, I'm just happy that I was the strongest today in the last 200 meters.
Looked like you're trying to be like a cheerleader in the classic races in the stadium. You always pulled in front there, so you're trying to keep the audience warm, or what's your comment?
Yeah, I thought about the heart of my dad. He wants to see me in front of the field. He's getting always worried when I'm so behind the field. But yeah, I had really good skis, and for me, always my tactic is to try to be offensive in the easy part of the track. So yeah, for sure, the tactic was to be in front of the group when we started on the tough climbs up to Frognerseteren.
Are you going to race on Tuesday in 15K?
Yeah, I hope so, but we will see what my trainers and the boss will say. I always want to do all the competitions, but I think they want to have me fresh and good for the relay on Friday and also on the 50K, so I will try to not look tired tonight, so then we have a chance.
When you were crossing the line, how much was happiness and how much was just relief?
Oh, it's like, I think in the start it was more relief because yeah, you so much want this individual goal. For me, I knew if I won today, it will be maybe easier for me to race better in the next week in the championship, because then I have made my goal, and then I know like this next week will only be bonus. But yeah, now I'm always really hungry, and tomorrow it's important to forget this day and think forward.
Did you know in the Classic that Marcus Helder was having problems with his skis and was falling back, and did that change your strategy at all?
No, I saw that he was behind in the field, but I always, I don't think it's good to also be there, because when it's when we are together before the ski change, he maybe have saved a little bit more power, but if you have bad skis, it's also in these tracks it's tough to stay behind the field. But yeah, I didn't hurt so much. I saw that Södergren and Rickardsson was looking good, so I thought that the Swedish team had good skis. But when I saw Marcus on the skating part, I for sure knew that he was going to be strong at the end.
Okay, then last question after that.
Were you surprised by the fact that no team really decided a great offensive with several attacks, with several skiers? Was you hoping for that, or were you expecting for such a race? You've never been put under pressure really during the race.
Yeah, today I was in great shape. I had a really good day, so for me I hoped for pushes early, and I hoped for also more speed there on the last round in the classic part, because the feeling was good, and I don't want to have too many athletes together in the skating part, because then it's easier to go up in front of the field. But yeah, for sure my tactic is to save power also, but I hoped for more speed on the skating part also, because then I had really good legs. So, but yeah, when we saw when the situation was that Harvey was attacking and people started looking to each other and nobody wanted to do the job. Yeah, I hope that, I knew that the last round was going to be really hard.
Last chance goes to Canada.
Was it Helmer that pulled up alongside you on that final climb, and what were you sort of worried for a repeat of the sprint?
No, I wasn't worried, but for sure my thought was in my head that he's not gonna beat me one more time here in front of the home crowd. That would have been embarrassing. So yeah, I saw also that he was a little bit tired, so he didn't have the same speed as he had on the sprint. But Willik Sean looked stronger, so I knew that he would be like maybe the hardest one to fight with at the end. I know from La Croissant and for sure from Dieters that he's really good in this last sprint when he's tired. So, but yeah, it was good that Henner was showing his face there in the last uphill. That helped for the motivation.